and Draw Social Club Happy Hour.
Are we live?
We are live.
Are we live?
We're live right now. This is happening live.
We...
This is important, Jeff.
Is this real life?
This is not just fantasy.
Perfect.
All right. So anyway, you know most of the people on this show, but you do not know, or you know him. You've just never seen him before. On our show, the special guest of the evening.
Oh, this is a fucking mess.
It's a disaster. We warned you. It only gets worse. Welcome. Now you're live.
By the way, that's Chip Zdarsky, right? Isn't that who it is?
That is Chip Zdarsky.
Okay. I believe so.
Chip, you have that new Eisner glow about you.
Oh. It's
shiny. Thank you. Yeah.
Did you happen to win an Eisner?
I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah, no, I did. It wasn't Best Writer. Tom King won that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah. Have any of you guys won Eisners?
Dave. I think Dave's the only other Eisner buddy.
All right.
Won the almost Eisner many times.
Dave, we fist bump. Is that how this works? Just like that?
Yep.
Yeah. That's good.
Dan, were you ever nominated for an Eisner?
Never even considered.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been nominated 7 times. I don't know about. Sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to rub your nose in it like that.
Awards are bullshit. I think we all know that. Like they're stupid popularity contests.
Yeah.
But actually, when you win one, it's great.
Yeah. Mostly this show is just us hyping. It's a lot of just hyping each other and not necessarily the guest. So
good.
Yeah. You're here to make us look good.
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
Spoken to.
I don't know what happened on Ryan. I guess you were on it. How was the live stream with Ryan? Anything like complaints? Like if you had a comment card, like negatives?
It was really combative.
Yeah.
Like we really went after each other. And
he's a douche.
He said some things that were really out of bounds. And there's going to be you're going to notice, like if you watch it, like some really hard edits because of the things he said that could offend and destroy like his career, frankly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's not professionals like us. Like we've been doing this 21 episodes now.
Yeah. Like he's done like 4 episodes, 3 of them with Donnie Cates.
Oh God.
And you know the sad thing is they're not getting better. They're not getting better.
No.
They should be improving.
Like honestly, I'm
talking about us or right.
Did he bring us up?
What's that?
Did he bring us up at all?
No, not at all.
Huh.
Which I thought was an insult in itself.
Yeah, that I don't like so much.
Like I brought it up, and then he turned to the guy who runs it, and he's like, "We're going to cut that out."
Yeah.
Which is rude, frankly.
Totally.
Between you and me, that's rude.
I think it's rude. Very.
Yeah.
37 years this evening. That may be a new record.
The rest of us, get the Reverend in his blank sheet.
Missing in action. There he is.
All right.
Spider-Man?
It's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Dan.
What about this man?
Hey. So
this man, this myth, this legend.
Let's keep this conversation going.
The only Joe Quesada.
Yeah,
with us this evening.
Somebody mentioned
back from hiatus.
Back from hiatus.
We had to put you on timeout after those offensive things you said on the last program.
But they were about me, so.
I just sometimes I just can't control myself. I got a temper. Yes,
it happens.
Now we have to explain that Jeff over here is experiencing some technical difficulties.
No,
my audio is fine. Just my video seems to be behind a bit.
I can tell.
What's that about Godzilla?
Yeah, right. So I'll just chime in without looking at the camera.
Fair enough.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We were going to suggest that a long time ago.
Listen, my wife has been suggesting that for the entire time we've been married. Stop looking at the camera, Jeff. It ruins the scene.
Yeah.
It ruins our sex tape.
Yeah.
You're a body, not a face. You know that.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to have a personality.
So what's the beverage of choice for everyone this evening? What are we drinking?
Mezcal.
The tears of Ryan Stegman.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Very fine.
And I got some Angry Orchard hard cider.
Good.
That's good stuff.
Not bad.
Bourbon myself this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Delightful.
Whoop.
Oh, we're down a man.
Someone jumped out.
It's Jeff. Jeff was the weakest link.
You are the weakest link.
Also, please, it was Jeff.
Shocker.
So Chip, Chip, I heard that you had quite an acceptance speech.
Yeah, so you'll notice that what I'm drinking right now is water.
Yeah.
It's because maybe I had one too many white wines at the Eisners.
Okay.
And I gave a bit of a speech.
And do tell,
Well, there were a few things. The previous time I'd been at the Eisners, we won for sex criminals, and I definitely broke the record for the number of times the word dildo was used in an Eisner speech.
Nice.
I just remember looking out at the people and being like, "What am I doing? I need to stop saying dildo." But every time I thought that, I just said dildo again.
By the way, the previous record was held by Paul Levitz. Just so you
Yes, exactly.
know. Math on
Very
that.
proud of it.
Yeah. I realized halfway through the Eisner ceremony that I didn't have a speech. And so I just wrote down some key words on the back of my Eisner ticket, and I went up. And one of the things was all the people that were winning, I noticed they would go up and they would immediately thank their wives for all their support.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went up and I said, I would love to thank my wife, but she's not really a fan. And I just kind of went on about it. She doesn't read my work. She doesn't care.
I love it.
She's like, it was a sad speech. I felt embarrassed for my editor who was at the table, Nick Lowe. You guys know
Nick's
jovial Nick Lowe.
Nick had some good shenanigans going on during San Diego Comic-Con. He had some great ideas for pranking Frank. I was pretty impressed. But I mean, he's a good editor, so obviously, it shines through in everything he does.
Well, you may not remember, Dan, but Chip was actually in the room.
I was in the room briefly.
Very brief.
And then I started to sober up, and I was like, "What am I doing here?
You ran away.
This is
Yeah, you're
bad.
like, I want an eyes.
Pure look of fear in your eyes.
This is real bad."
Oh, here comes Jeff again.
Oh, he's
Hi,
back.
Jeff.
There you go.
Hey,
Hey, Jeff.
What's up?
we missed you.
Were you busy, or what was?
Someone got unplugged, and then I had to start the whole process over again.
All right. See if we have any questions.
All right. The only one I see is asking Jeff or Chip about his Eisner win. So we kind of hit that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Chip, what does it feel like to win an Eisner? I mean, I've only been nominated. I don't know.
Look, this is my third, so you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another thing to put on the mantle. It's not a big deal.
Running out of space. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this: the ceremonies. Everyone always says that the ceremonies are really long and boring.
They are.
But let me counter and say I like people winning things. It's a nice feeling, like people going up and they win a thing, and then they give a nice speech, and some people cry and they thank people, and there's a lot of joy in that room.
But all the other people are losing things.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. But I also like that too.
Yeah, okay.
So it checks off all the boxes.
Chip, did you cry at all?
When I sat down and I had to look Nick Lowe in the eyes and realize all the things I said about him on stage, like a single tear absolutely came down.
That's all he deserves, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like award shows.
Well, because you win.
Yeah, because I win.
Yeah.
You keep winning.
For the people that don't win, that show is like the longest
Oh, yeah.
of their lives. It really is.
Yeah.
And if you're not winning,
I've been through that 7 times, so believe me, I know.
if you're not winning, you can't just show up and then leave. You kind of have to stick it out.
Yeah.
Oh, sure you
Hey,
can.
great team,
You can
won
stand
again.
up and just walk out.
Yeah, you really can.
You know why nobody will notice you? Because you're a loser. That's why.
That's right. That's it.
A gracious loser.
Not enough people were paying attention in the first place.
Yeah.
Gar Hyde wants to know if there's a monetary prize that accompanies the Eisner.
Oh boy, no, there isn't.
You didn't get $5 in your box, or
No. I mean that's yeah. You pay your way there. There's a buffet, and then there's like $15 glasses of wine.
Buffet?
Yeah.
I don't remember a buffet. What?
is it a fancy
That's all
buffet?
new.
I've never actually had it. Like I kind of show up and ignore it because I'd rather just have the drinks. But the drinks cost $15, so
Wow.
Wait, it's not an open bar?
no.
Man.
Maybe it's an open bar for like Tom
The
King,
losers.
but not for Chip Zdarsky. Not at all.
You don't get like drink tickets with your Eisner or anything like that?
If I did, they were probably all handed to Nick Lowe, and that's why I didn't get any.
Hey, Chip, I have to stop you for a second. I could have sworn I heard you refer to yourself in the third person.
What? No.
Yes, you did.
No.
You just did. Is that what happens when you get an Eisner? You start referring to yourself in the third person. Joe Quesada wants to know, by the way.
Joe Quesada wants to know. The Joe Quesada.
Yes.
As soon as you start calling yourself the Joe Quesada, then you got the problem.
No, I'm actually television's Joe Quesada.
Of televisions, yeah.
Speaking of television, Joe, aren't you a television guy right now, or?
Oh yeah, I have a show.
Congrats on that.
You know who's not on my show? No Chip Zdarsky. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
fair. That's fair.
You know, ever. You know, I'm doing a show called Storyboards for Disney Plus. Yeah.
So who have you done so far on that show?
We did 12 episodes. I don't want to list the people who are on it because I know that they only announced a few of them and they want to hold some of the names.
Just tell us. It's fine.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
Between friends.
Dave Johnston, got Dave Johnson and Jeff Johnson, both the same.
Wow.
Couple of Johnsons.
Double Johnson.
Basically the same
What do
guy.
you need?
Yeah.
It's all you need in life to get double Johnson.
Gross.
No, it's kind of fun if you want to see me make a complete and utter fool of myself.
So which episode has the strangest career?
Wow.
Because that won't give away the person, but like.
No, I will. It will actually.
Okay.
Absolutely will. It absolutely will. Yeah. So we do a little traveling. We did a couple of locations. We interview some really, really fascinating people, and it's literally just about storytelling.
Yeah.
A little bit of Marvel mixed in there to sort of equate how heroic stories resonate through people's lives, whether it's in a costume or not. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work.
So if it's about storytelling, then why were you hosting it?
Yes. You know what? I ask myself the question all the time. Chip, excuse me for a second. I have to call CB.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. What books are you on right now?
Yeah. So what was the coolest place you got to travel to?
Again, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say.
All right, fair enough.
Come on, Jeff. Knock it off.
Since Jesus. Yeah, and I don't want to get into it and spoil it, but some far off exotic locations.
As you would expect the Joe Quesada to travel.
Joe Quesada, but yeah, places that generally would not allow me to be there. So
yeah.
All right, what was you can't say where you were, but can you say what the weirdest thing you ate while you were on the road was?
It's not a show.
Jeff,
life.
I'm desperately trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no, the show isn't about food, right? This
isn't the Anthony Bourdain show, Jeff.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
passed away. Let's be a little respectful.
But we do go to different places, and there's a sit down portion of the interviews. There is a sort of fish out of water portion, which is my favorite part, where sort of whenever possible I partake in that person's career. So yeah, I fall on my face a lot in certain places.
Well, then you've got a viewer in me.
Yeah.
So, Joe, when does the show start?
They haven't announced yet. So, sorry, guys.
Right? It is very mysterious, though.
It's very mysterious.
I love all these scoops you're giving us.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because I mean, I can't say this. We did shoot in L.A. For a portion of it, and I was out there. That's when you guys were doing the drink and draw. Dan,
write that down, Jeff. He was in L.A.
Yeah. So Dan was grilling me, and I'm like, I can't tell you. Yeah. I'm really good at keeping secrets, Chips. So don't worry. That's stuff that happened in West Virginia.
In Nam.
Oh, that's fine. You can tell everybody.
No. Not my story to tell.
I'm a man of no secrets.
Not my story to tell. Speaking of which, you did tell me some great stuff when we were first starting to get to know each other.
Yeah.
You were telling me some of the great guerrilla marketing stuff that you did when you were, a
young lad.
Yeah, tell us. Because really, I don't think these clowns know any of that stuff. I certainly did. I thought it was great.
Well, I mean, the big one is in town here in Toronto every year. There's Fan Expo. It's a show I used to go to, but it got a little too big. Yeah, I'm an indie man at heart. You know that. You know that about me. Oh no, I'm still super indie.
Well, then stop referring to yourself in the third person.
Yeah, Chip Zdarsky is quite indie.
Fan first, Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah. So Fan Expo happens every year, and I don't really do the show, but I still want to do something around the show. So one year I had a thing called Zdarsky, where it was just myself and a friend, and a friend had built a platform for me on wheels with a magazine rack and a chair and a little table for me to do little sketches on. And he was
very understated.
Yeah. So I wore a velvet jacket, and he would just like pull me by rope back and forth across the street from Fan Expo. And it was nice to connect with the fans that way. But the 2 years later, I decided to up my game, and we just told everyone to meet at this street corner for Zdarsky. And so all these people lined up at the street corner, and then I had like a team of people where they would bring up 5 people up to a hotel room, and when you get into the hotel room, it was myself and some friends in bathrobes with like a full comic book setup, and we just lounge in the beds as people came up, and we would sign and talk to them and send them on their way, and we'd radio down. They'd send 5 more people up, and we just kind of we did it that way. It was the best convention I've ever been to, because you could just hang out in bathrobes, and people enjoy creators in bathrobes. It turns out you guys should incorporate that into the show. Frankly.
It's mildly terrible.
Sounds like more like that's a rhyme, Stegman sort of.
It's a little bit of a Stegman. Well, the thing, I invited Stegman because I was having like a bunch of comic creators come by, and he showed up, and he just didn't even know what to do. He just like sat there in the chair, just staring, like slack-jawed, like it's his first time in the big city or something. Like he was essentially useless in that room.
Yeah, we would fit. Next time you do this, we're in.
Great, awesome. I'm trying to figure out how to one up it, like, because you want to do something bigger every year. So I was thinking a tour bus, get like a tour bus, and it just circles around Fan Expo and picks up and drops people off.
You know what? Like, Titmouse does that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. San Diego Comic-Con. It was pretty awesome. But it's not saying there wouldn't be room enough for another one.
Yeah. The problem is I looked into it, and you have to like rent those buses for like 4 weeks because they're for like bands, right? Like no one rents one of those buses for the day. So I'm gonna need I'm gonna need a company with deep pockets that maybe I work for. I need to know somebody at that company that's kind of high up.
Right.
We can borrow Randy House's RV, right?
Okay, or I could do that.
It'd be delightful. It's got a shower.
Well, hey, there you go. Shower with Chip Zdarsky.
And Randy.
Now you want to up the game. That's the way to up the game.
That is the way to do it.
Yeah, get sudsy with Chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that. Like, yeah, Joe and I think it was during one of the retreats, we had drinks and we were just kind of telling old stories. And I loved all of Joel's old stories because at the end of every story, he would go, but that was a different time. Every story, but that was a different time.
Yeah, because you couldn't get away with that stuff.
No, that's the thing.
When I was telling Chip were the stories about openers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's a great bar.
Yeah. So, it was a different time.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
The dress code seemed different.
Yes.
Almost non-existent.
Yeah.
At times. Yeah. It had sort of a, I don't know, Roman circus feel to it.
Is that why it was called openers?
No.
Much more mundane than that. It's just because they had a wall that was covered in different types of bottle openers. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that's a cover. Like they did that to cover for whatever the real reason.
For the giant orgy in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with Chip on that.
Yeah.
So, Chip, what are you working on now and why should we care?
Fair enough. You should care because it's for your company.
Oh,
that's a good point.
Come on, support the team. I'm working on Daredevil, which is what I'm doodling.
Oh, no pressure there, huh?
Yeah. I remember it's funny when CB offered me the gig. I did like a deep dive, and I prepared to pitch it because I had to pitch it at that summit.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just kind of looking across the room, and I saw you there, I saw Mark Wade there, and Charles Soule there. I'm just like, this might be the highest stress presentation I'll ever have to give.
And you saw me just like shaking my head the entire time.
Basically, yeah. That was. I normally don't get stressed out about anything, but at that moment, that's a little stressful to present a Daredevil pitch to Daredevil creators. But yeah, so that's kind of the main book I'm doing right now, and I just wrapped up Spider-Man Life Story, and working on Invaders, and I got like 4 more Marvel things kind of coming down the line.
So well, you're kicking ass on Daredevil. What about your indie stuff?
Yeah, we just announced a thing with Comixology. Yeah. I'm doing a book with Toronto artist Jason Liu called Afterlift, which is kind of like an Uber ride through the afterlife and through hell. Mm-hmm. And so it's 5 issues, like straight to digital, just to kind of try that model out. And through Image, I'm doing a book with Chris Sonka and Matt Wilson. We work together on Star-Lord. And I asked Chris, what do you want to draw for Image? And he said, hunky fantasy dudes. And so that's what we did. That's what we did. And I wrote a straight up, just wall to wall gay orgy, and Chris drew the hell out of it. The hell out of it.
Nice. A lot of assless chaps.
Not even. The chaps just get in the way.
Yeah. Chaps are mundane. I'm assuming in this.
Yeah. And I'm still drawing sex criminals. So I got the script for the new issue, so I'm like halfway through that. I tend to just I write in the morning, draw during the day, and then write in the evening again. Do you split your day up that way?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Did you write and you draw
it's not as structured as that. My day is literally I look at my email.
Yeah.
And I look at the email queue. I see what the lineup is, what's needed. And then I look at which one of these is the most expensive ticket item, right? Is it a TV script? Is it a comic book script? Is it something for animation? And then that's then I just prioritize. What am I reading? Am I writing? I'm drawing a project, but that literally has to take the backseat to anything that's that's really on fire.
Yeah.
For me at this point, drawing something is kind of it's a bit of a luxury considering how much time, but I need to do it for my own sanity.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, do you miss having less responsibility? First of all, do you feel that your job now is more responsibility than when you were editor in chief?
It's really different because it's the editor-in-chief responsibility was out front in the public, right? Because the quick turnaround of turnkey of comic books, right? You have an idea in 3 months, it's usually out in the stands, or maybe 4 or 5 months. So you could talk about it, you could shill it, you could do everything you can. The stuff I'm doing now is usually long lead, bigger budgets, has to be highly secretive. Even the storyboards thing I've been working on for a while. This drawing thing I'm drawing, I've been working on for a while. So when it happens. But it's a different kind of responsibility. So in my role, I don't really have a staff. It's just kind of me. Well, you see me. I'm ridiculously lazy. So it's still rewarding creatively. Maybe not as much fun because I don't get to engage with the fans as much as I like to. But
it lacks the immediacy. Like that's the one thing whenever somebody tries to get me to write like screenplay or film and TV stuff, I'm like, fuck, but comics are so quick.
Yeah,
like the immediacy of comics is just like there's no other industry like it where you can sit down, write a thing, and then it gets drawn, and then it's out in front of people like you said, like 3-4 months. The turnaround's insane.
Yeah,
like there'll never be another job where like the deadline pressure just kind of it just steamrolls constantly.
Constantly, and there's that old
satisfying.
There's that old kind of thing we joke about. It's like wouldn't it be cool if comics were like a performance art, right? Like you finish a page and suddenly like a crowd of people just get up and start clapping. Yeah. But when it comes to like the world of art and entertainment, it's about as close as you can get. Because the other thing is you could spend your life working in any other sort of art medium and be completely anonymous. And for some people, that's really great. They don't mind. But it's a cool thing to have your name in a comic book. It's a cool thing to go to a convention and have people go, I love your work. That's the other thing that And yes, are there other parts of the entertainment business and art world that pay more? Sure. But they don't offer the immediacy, a lot of the control. It's just something cool about it.
Yeah.
I got some friends in animation, and this show that they're currently working on is getting a lot of attention, but the art team isn't.
Of course.
About it, and you could tell they're like, hey, we worked on this thing too.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
No, I just was gonna make a bad joke.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Dan, so we have Joseph Flores is asking for a drink and draw booth at the LA Comic Con, and he wants a shirt.
Oh, and he wants a shirt. We should probably try to sell these shirts. I'm thinking. People seem to like them.
Yeah, I put up in the chat for people to email me. Let me know what size and how many, and we'll kind of go from there. I have to figure out how many we got to order before we know what kind of prices we're going to deal with. So, but yeah, we can make it happen. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, we got a question for you.
Okay. I'll take it.
Our favorite question asker, Agus, is saying, all right, let's say you're taking your weekly baby oil and Coca-Cola sun bath.
Okay, I often do that. And
a vicious honey badger shows up to rip off your drawing hand. What would you do for a living now that you can't draw? Go.
I guess I just follow Dave around and act as his bodyguard. He's got a lot of enemies.
Apparently, yeah. So.
I mean, it's mostly just looking after Dave, making sure he doesn't, he survives.
Yeah.
I need to survive. I need to keep going. Who else is going to do this?
It's not Jeff.
Not me. I can't do it.
Jeff's proven.
Dave, you away from your microphone again because you're kind of in a tin can again.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know.
Ben, how's my mic?
Your mic is superb.
Thank you. Though it's just a minute behind or a minute ahead.
Yeah. Every minute, chime in.
But Dave, yours is like last week, like you're on the wrong microphone.
Okay, we got another question. This one, I'm just going to direct it to Chip.
Right.
Hey, Chip.
Yeah.
So if you could work on a property that isn't from Marvel and DC, what would it be? It could be a cartoon, comic book, movie, or a novel.
You know what? That's.
Is that a good question or a shitty question?
No, it's a good question, but the thing is, like, how do I answer this without giving stuff away?
In the third person.
Yes,
that's the way to do it. I mean, the question was posed recently to me in terms of like what are the properties that you would like to work on, and there's a person that said that they could try to make it happen, and I thought about it and I was just like, well, the only things I really want to work on that aren't my own are like Marvel books. Like it's kind of like it was like the dream when I was a kid. Like there's no movie franchise or anything where I'm just like, oh, I need to do that. Like, I don't have like I might have an affinity for like Star Wars, but like it's still kind of second place for me to like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Captain America, like those characters. Yeah. So it's it's a bit of a cop out. Like I'm like, hey, I'm already living the dream. Like I actually don't need.
Especially with me here.
Yeah, obviously.
It seems disingenuous.
You're like, I'll win an Eisner, and then I'll get to be on this show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Living the dream.
We're fine. Yeah, a lot of requests for shirts here.
Yeah.
The shirts are awesome.
Hey Ben, I know I owe you $20. Relax, okay?
Give me my money. Don't make me send Frank Terry to your house.
I got to tell you though, when I said, hey Ben, how much do I owe you? I really expected like, hey, don't worry, it's on me.
You told me $40.
Like $20. I'm like, okay, all right, $20.
Listen, you got the wholesale price.
Yeah, the brother price.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, he likes you.
The family discount. That's what that is.
Yeah, you came out great. Awesome.
Chip, I have a question for you.
All right.
Working on Daredevil, traditionally a lot of your stuff that I've read is got humor based in it. Not over the top humor on everything.
Yeah, you're not. I can't see your visual, so I can't tell if you're making air quotes around humor or not.
Oh, there's all.
Whoops.
But the
humor.
And Daredevil doesn't strike me as a character that has a lot of humor in it. So what, balances that for you?
I mean, that was one of the questions when I was going in because like Wade and Samney kind of added more humor and lightness after, the previous runs. And so the question I had was like, do I kind of continue that or do I go the other way? And I felt like Charles, his run straddled kind of both worlds. Like it was dark, but also kind of light. Like he had a really good touch to kind of hit both those points. And so I was like, well, I don't want to make it feel like a straight continuation of Charles' stuff. And I'm kind of known for the humor stuff, so that would be kind of what's expected. So I went as dark as I could with it. And that was kind of the mandate from the beginning. Like when I was talking to my editors, I was like, the artists we get on this have to be able to draw real people. Like that was super important to me. Because at first, like a lot of the suggestions they gave were like very superhero-y artists, which would be great if we were doing like Spider-Man or the Avengers. But I'm like, yeah, but like Daredevil, you got to be able to draw somebody, like on the street shopping or talking to like an old lady and have it feel really grounded. So I went relatively dark with it, which I think surprised some people, which is also kind of part of the fun. Like my favorite trick to do in books is to do things that are kind of fun and funny and light, and then hit somebody with something really dark. And I picked that up from I don't know if you guys ever read like Justice League International, Giffen and DeMatteis and McGuire. Like I love that comic. Like that was like my main DC comic when I was younger.
Dave turned me on to that one.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful because they always have like great artists on it too, but the humor was just spot on. But then they would do like this like 180 where all of a sudden like Gypsy's parents are getting murdered and it's like this dark like Adam Hughes drawing like her running through a neighborhood being chased and like it's blood, it's horror, and those moments really hit you because of the comedy. Because the comedy sets you up for a thing, and then, like I said, it does the 180. Like if it was a book that was just like grim and gritty all the time, then maybe not. It wouldn't be as effective. But So I really like that, and so I felt like I just kind of did that, like just as a creator, like doing light stuff and then hitting something super dark, which I think screwed with people's heads.
Wow, you really put some thought into this. Huh.
I actually do think, Joe.
Jeff, I hate to ask you a question like that because we won't really be able to hear you, but like the answer.
Well, we only have 20 minutes left in the show.
Oh,
Listen,
we do?
it's just the audio is fine.
Mm-hmm.
What's the question, Dan?
I forgot.
I thought so.
The feedback is so lagging that it's like 2 lifetimes. At this
All right.
point.
Show's over now.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go ahead and talk for me, Dan? You know what I would say.
True. Are you going to blacken in Thor's knee pads?
I was just debating that. What do you think?
He's always skinning his knees. That's the most vulnerable part of him, kind of like Achilles' heel. But that's why he has the knee pads. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I like to make them stand out. I like to emphasize them.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually part of the original Norse myth. You know that, right? The whole knee pad thing.
He's very clumsy. Yeah, the Thor was very he skinned his knees.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knows that.
It was the original carpet layer, wore knee pads. Chip, we have a question from the audience asking if you prefer writing or drawing. Which is your favorite?
Is that a fair question?
Yeah, that's totally a fair question. There are obviously different pluses and minuses to them, and Joe will back me on that.
Really?
Writing is quicker and easier, so that's kind of satisfying to be able to like do a thing and have it done in like a few days instead of like a month or 2 months. I do quite enjoy that. There's more pressure I find as a writer because like when people review the books, they can go from loving you or hating you from issue to issue based on the story, but they never do that with the artist. Like if say Stuart Immonen is drawing a book, like the reviews are always just like, and Stuart Immonen is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the review for every issue that he draws.
And he's not always amazing, is he?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Come on.
He's still struggling. He's still trying to find his groove.
Yeah.
You know?
So the writing is more can get more personal and you can ride highs and lows a bit more with that. But drawing a page is so satisfying when it works. Like maybe it's maybe only to you, but it feels so good to have like an issue completed or a page completed. Like I don't think there's anything quite like that feeling. And you have to have. I've said this before. To be a comic artist, you have to have a emotional short-term memory.
That's what I keep telling Jeff.
Yeah, because you have to be able to forget how hard it was in order to do it again. Like whenever you finish an issue, like oh my god, like that was like so hard. Like I can't believe I made that deadline, and like I didn't see my wife or kids or whatever. And then a few days later, you kind of forget that feeling. And you're like, oh, it's time to draw another comic again.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad, but it is so bad every time, and you forget it on a weird emotional level.
What about drawing something that you've written? How does that stack up to you?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like the Spider-Man issue that I wrote and drew myself. I felt like more pressure on that one because there's no one to support you on either end of it. Like sometimes when I write a script, I'm like, is this working? But then like if it's a great artist, you're like, oh, okay, it's gonna at least work at that level. So that'll carry the script. Or on Sex Criminals, when I'm working with Fraction, he's so good at what he does that I could just draw like stick figures really, and it'll still be a pretty solid comic. But yeah, when you're doing both yourself, it's like you're kind of laying it all out to the public.
Yeah.
Hey, this is everything I can do. Judge me completely on this. It's the closest thing to just doing like a straight up novel, which is like, all right, here you go, public. Like this is everything I can give this. And if you don't like it, then you really don't like me. So yeah, there's more pressure on it for sure. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I think I actually enjoy working with the writer.
Yeah.
Or drawing something that I've written more than I do writing for someone else. because I feel like I torture an artist because I'm so specific about my my panels and
oh god, yeah, the guilt,
storytelling and stuff, and I just like, oh man, if I was drawing this, I'd hate me,
Yeah.
But when I do for myself, I'm writing with the storytelling all sort of premeditated in my head.
Yeah, I find doing the Marvel books. Probably most of the artists I work with hate me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Because like when the work comes in, like I always have notes, and I always feel really shitty giving the notes.
Well, you're that guy.
Ooh. I am that guy. I know. It's shitty. And it's shitty, and I know it's shitty when I'm doing it, but I'm just like, there's a better way to do this. Or this figure could be 10% larger. Like there'll be things that I know will trip up a reader. Yeah. And I know I have to give the note, and I know I feel bad doing it. I think my editors like it because then they don't have to do it. I can't tell anymore. Yeah. But yeah, and you just feel guilt. You feel guilt as soon as you type the words "bustling New York street."
Right.
Which takes you 3 seconds.
Battle scene.
Oh yeah, and I do everything in my power to minimize that because I know the feeling of getting the script.
Yeah.
That has like too many panels or too many items to draw. Yeah. So coming at it from an artist point of view is a little tricky.
Yeah.
And you never get rid of that guilt.
Yeah. Dan and I talk about that all the time, but just getting those stories where it's just like, did the writer count how many panels they actually want here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Have you seen Dave?
Dave's dead.
Dave got
Dave doesn't know how to point the camera.
He may be joining.
Hey, Dave, there's a show going on. Dave.
We're actually doing a show here. I don't know if you're interested.
Yeah, my sound's not synced, but I'm actually working over here, Dave.
We're live, Dave. Dave, we're live.
If we could combine the Johnsons, we could actually have a functional camera and mic.
You couldn't handle the two of us is one thing.
No, that's why you guys are separated by state lines. It's perfect.
I don't know what happened there. Something changed.
The machine.
You've been watching the show religiously, right, Chip, from the first episode?
Oh no, I can't get enough of it.
So, what do you think of our new format here?
Yeah, it's so much better than the old format, which I absolutely know and love as well.
No. While I was designing it, I was going, what would Chip do here, here, and here? And I was like, oh, well, that's awesome.
We have an Eisner Award winner. We had to slick it up a little bit. Next week, we go back to the same shitty format, right?
Sure.
Well, before, is it the voice that would activate who would be on screen?
And now I'm kind of the czar.
You're tackling it. Amazing.
Right now,
it's going power mad now.
So good.
I know that's my favorite format. But then I'm also a big fan of this.
Oh yeah.
That's great. I mean,
yeah, it's like you're Brady bunching it.
This is the one. Like if we want subscribers, I usually leave it on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right now we have 69 viewers.
What?
This is perfect. That's a sex crime right there.
There you go.
Somebody just complained that it looks like I'm on dial-up. I don't know what the hell's going on.
70. Yeah, Joe, you've been.
You can change. Joe, you can change the resolution, if the drop-down menu, you can change the standard or low or high definition.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, where's that? In settings?
Yeah.
You give me vertigo.
Yeah. Depending on Jeff, Jeff has, it's like, well, actually, Jeff, your video quality is good.
Yeah, I don't see it in settings.
The settings.
I'm going to tell you, you know what the fans love?
What?
The guys just talk about the settings of their video.
Yeah.
That is the best part. I think Dan, yeah.
It's under camera resolution, Joe. If you click settings, it's the second box.
Chime in anytime you want.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is like Tech Talk.
Tech Talk.
Awesome. Look at that. There we go. Now we're talking.
The Adorian audience wants to know what you're drawing.
Yeah.
I kind of went as I could on that.
That's cool.
You could draw professionally. You should try that.
I'll give it a shot one day.
Yeah. Comic book right there.
Kid.
By the way, I have to admit that it was I'm going to use the word cute here. For with respect to the Chip. I remember when I think our last Writer Summit.
Yeah.
You're either that issue of Spider-Man that you drew came out, or you had a make ready of it, one or the other. And
yeah, I think it just came out.
You were like, it was very cute. You didn't want to show it to me, you know.
I think they just the issues just came in, and Nick gave me a stack, and I wanted to show you. And,
you sort of had like this sort of, you know,
like
I like to be looked at in that way. So
I desperately want you to like me.
Yeah, I like you.
I don't know if you like.
You're working too hard, Chip. You're working too hard, man. Really seriously.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
You're good.
I feel like sometimes I've got you, and sometimes I lose you.
He's so ethereal.
You run into the arms of Donnie across the room or something, and I just stare.
No, I'm done with
Donnie.
No.
Donnie breaks.
Donnie, Steg. You know what is? He hangs out with Stegman. I can't do it.
Yeah,
fair.
You know, sometimes it's just a company you keep.
Yeah.
Just you know. You seem to hang out with nobody, which is kind of safe. Yeah.
See what Dave's drawing though, real quick.
What is that you're drawing?
Great. It's gorgeous.
That's awesome.
Now,
I can't afford Mignolas anymore, so I'm just painting my own.
That's Hellboy. That's awesome. Great Hellboy.
Believe me, I wish I could afford one of his watercolors, but I'm broke.
So you just make your own. That's awesome.
Yeah, why not?
Or look at this. Watch this. Let's say you wanted to hypothetically follow Dave. Here's how you do it.
Why would anybody want to do that?
What if you really wanted to follow Dave?
Wow.
Whoa.
Dan, you're so proud of yourself.
No, I could care less, Jeff.
I'm a huge fan of the new format, Dan, by the way.
Next stage, Dan's going to show a dick pic and say, if you really want to follow Dave.
Let's check on my phone. There's no sexy pics on my phone, sadly.
Well, I can change that. I'll change that in a minute.
Give us.
What's your number, Dan? What's your number?
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that, Dan.
I miss the whole era of everybody send, like you're dating and everybody sends like, say, oh, here's a picture of me. That's gone. I've never experienced that.
I'm pretty happy I missed it.
I'm not happy I missed it. I'm kind of upset.
You would have gone to jail for sure, buddy.
Dan's phone number is so you
what?
Can
send, let's just mute Dave. I just muted him. I have so much power, Chip, that it's a little bit like takes some getting used to. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Add with it.
Yeah.
Add with power.
Ben, how are we doing? Give us an update. Are we running out of time? Because Chip's got like 6 more live streams on his.
It's 7:53 my time. We're supposed to go an hour.
A full hour, and we
have 7 minutes to wrap it, to really get into it.
12 minutes.
Well, let's take a look let's see what Jeff's doing.
I'm only paid for an hour, so
yeah, it's high dollar shit now.
Jeff, you should use one of those super Sharpies, like the paint ones, and you can cover a lot of ground with the ink.
You know what? I wish I had the balls to do what you do with your paintbrush.
Yellow marker.
That gigantic marker you have, but I just can't. I can't just throw myself into it that way.
Yeah. I wish you could, though.
Jeff, audience question wanting to know where you sell your artwork at.
They can just contact me on Facebook if they want to.
Or how about Twitter?
Yeah, look at that.
Twitter's the same. Facebook, Twitter.
Show up at his house.
Yeah, come by. Just come over.
Come on. Yeah. He'll be in his bathrobe with Chip.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you own a bathrobe?
I own a very nice silk robe with lots of dragons on it that I got in Florida.
Ooh.
That's not your wife's, right?
No.
All right, so who here is a bathrobe guy? I clearly Chip is. Right?
You know what? My wife, she was a travel editor for years. And so there was a brief period where we would go to like the world's most luxurious hotels. And they would just like give us these beautiful bathrobes, and that's when I became a bathrobe man.
Nice.
And then I got into comics and started doing Comic Cons and doing regular hotels again, and I wasn't very happy.
That must have been disappointing.
Oh, just hugely disappointing.
What do you think of this, Chip?
What do I think of it?
Hey, Chip, are you a fan of Brian Bendis?
As a person or as a writer?
Perfect answer.
Let's say a person.
Did he just call?
He just called again. I'm not
Seriously,
doing it.
we're doing the count.
Put him on.
Do you know about this? Do you know that he calls at the end of every show, like when we have 5 minutes left?
Yeah.
To upstage the guests.
Put him on. Put him on.
No, I'm not doing it, Chip. This is your time.
But what if he's got a sweet DC gig for me?
Well, then he can call you directly.
Wait a minute.
Hey, I'm not going to give you the sweet DC.
This is how I can get you though. Right there.
By the way, that's an oxymoron. A sweet DC.
Oh, fair.
Please. No, I'm not going to do this. He does it. He just wants to upstage.
I just watched his latest Seth Meyers appearance.
Okay, yeah.
He's quite charming on it.
Okay, he's charming. Yeah.
I'm gonna say he was quite charming on it. He got laughs. Yeah,
It's all
Kinda
scripted.
It's kind of cute in an Elvin sort of way, I guess.
Like a Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah. Not in the Brad Pitt kind of way.
No, I love Brian.
He's all right.
Chip, when I do this, look at this. You see that logo in the corner? Now you don't. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, my feelings are complicated. I'm not gonna lie.
We only have 9 minutes left.
Well, we're workshopping here. We're trying to workshop.
Yeah.
Have people write in, give us your cards and letters. Tell us where you like the damn logo.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Dan needs to know.
I really do. In my bathrobe.
Is it just that you're kind of like insecure in your design sense and you just want to get consent?
No, it's the opposite. I'm just showing off.
You're just showing off, right? You're just being a dick.
Pretty much.
The usual. All right.
Yeah. I'm so
Sorry,
happy.
Chip, I'm sorry I invited you to this. Really am. I'm sorry we put you through this.
No, man. I could have spent this hour,
Dan, when did
with my wife, or enjoying my time.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you came on.
this is nice too.
Yeah.
Not so bad.
Yeah. Seeing Dan's bathrobe.
Yeah, this is how I usually work.
Yeah.
Ben got
Are all your studios in your house, or do any of you have studios outside the house?
Mine's in my house.
Yeah.
I have a separate room.
Do you find that difficult? Like in order for motivation, because your bed's so close or your TV's close?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a constant struggle.
Anybody else?
I hate working out of my house. It drives me nuts. So me and Dan are trying to fix it.
We're going to try to do a. Why don't we run our idea, our Kickstarter by Chip, and see what he thinks.
Okay.
Go for it.
Run, Chip.
All right. So here's what we're thinking.
By the way, I have not signed off on this. This is a terrible idea. I'm going to say right away.
Basically, we beg the internet to just buy a studio for us, and we build it in my backyard. And then we just kind of give away trinkets, and then your name could be on a plaque, or like if you were to break the concrete, there'd be like a little slip of paper that has your name.
Dan, you don't see the internet. You're crowdfunding, Dan.
Oh, crowdfunding.
Yeah. And it's not trinkets. It's mementos.
You're not begging. You're not
collectibles.
See, that's a writer.
You're providing a service and content and collectible.
Yeah, we have all sorts of tiers, like the luxury, tier where we get an air conditioner or an outhouse or something.
Or they get your bathrobe.
Yeah, I could give away the bathrobe for a high level tier.
That's a smoking jacket.
Now I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's a solid idea. I think you should do it.
All
What have
right.
you got to lose except public humiliation of not reaching your goal?
Precisely.
And
I feel the key to anything like that is you have to have enough money socked away, so when it's looking like you've only reached 10% of your goal, that you can fund it yourself.
Genius.
Under anonymous names.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe, maybe we could sell one of those guitars you have in the back there.
Well, a guitar, sure. No,
Yeah, they're growing.
I only have 2 of them, Dan. I'm not going to give you my guitar.
If Dave and I need a studio, you might want to sell one of them.
Yeah, come on. Why are you going to be so stingy?
All right. Sure.
All right,
You can have one of my guitars.
Ben.
It's very generous. You can have one of my guitars too. That's fine. I haven't played it.
One of those pieces of art right behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an Elgin back there?
The charcoal is an
Yeah.
Yep.
That
That's
gets
the one I can afford.
And then you got a Darwin Cook up there.
I do have Darwin Cook of my lovely wife back there.
Yeah, those will get us a little coin, right? From Dan's studio. Dave's studio.
Yeah.
You have a McGinnis too.
There's a couple of some Adam Hughes up there in the corner. So
since we don't have a lot of time, I kind of want to show you guys the art I have on my walls.
All right.
So this is a portrait of Phil Collins by Kagan McLeod, which is one of my favorite things ever. Look at that.
Wow.
Beautiful.
it's marvelous.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
There
was when I first moved to Toronto, I was an assistant in a studio that had a lot of classic illustrators, and one of them was this guy named Will Davies. And one day he just retired and just dumped like hundreds of illustration boards on the floor, and everyone in Toronto came and picked them up. And this is one of his pieces.
Oh, nice.
Which is just awesome.
Beautiful.
So, like clearly just from like a magazine where like he left all the space for the text, but like look at that, like all
is her dress and the wall the same print?
Yeah.
It's like a wallpaper that he just like
And he's like, woman
cut up and put in there.
wearing a dress made out of the wall.
Yeah, like every illustration from that period is vaguely threatening towards women. So I didn't put it in the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else? Oh, my friend Kagan also did this just stunning old Magneto. So
Mr. Burns.
That's the movie Magneto, right?
he's so gross.
Yeah.
Erica Henderson, who I worked with on Jughead, she gave me one of her pages, which is quite lovely. My friend Ben found this dumped in an alley, and I just love it that it greets people when they come into the studio because it's just horrific.
Yeah.
I think it's the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Hey, Chip, what's hanging from your ceiling? Wait, turn around.
Oh yeah. So I've got a chandelier and I've got a pull-up bar because you don't get these guns just by drawing.
Right.
And this is a 3D statue of Matt Fraction.
Perfect.
That he sent me to inspire me.
Nice.
Wait,
Matt's put on a few pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a few years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
He sent me hundreds of little sayings, and I can put a different saying on every day to inspire me to be the best me I can be. I think it's quite nice.
That's pretty helpful. Ooh, right in his belly. Right in his belly button.
What else? I've got like Garfield trinkets, obviously. This is like a sleeve for masturbating into.
Oh yeah.
That local comic shop gave me to review. They wanted me to review it online, but I never did.
Yeah.
So now it just like sits here.
You can review it now.
Yeah, I could.
We got 2 minutes.
Yeah, I really could.
All
I
right,
think
let's
it's just enough time.
switch cameras. Okay, let's figure out how to work this here. Is there any other art though?
Nothing hanging. I've got one nerdy thing, which is the Captain America shield, which I bought for paintball. There's nothing more satisfying than paintballs bouncing off Captain America's shield.
Wow,
That's nice.
Yeah.
That does sound fun.
Yeah. And do I have anything else interesting in here? Not really.
I really expected more masturbation instruments. Got to tell you.
Just the one. I'm
little
a simple man. I'm a
Yeah.
simple man.
When you find something that works, you go.
You have a bathroom in there?
This is just kind of where I store all my comps and stuff. So they made Sex Criminals boxes a few years ago, which came in handy.
Mm-hmm.
This is a painting I still have yet to hang from an avant-garde artist friend of mine. Just his declaration that he smokes now. Just it's something.
That's pretty.
And yeah, I've got I don't have a guitar, but I have a digital piano. Because you need hobbies.
Why don't you play something?
No, I couldn't.
You could play us off.
Yes, you could.
No, I really couldn't. I've got one more. I've got a couple of little cool pieces of art. This is my friend Graham Remieux did this thing. You can't really read it, but it's a guy saying, "Hiya, I'm eating a tasty granola bar. which is unusual because granola bars are never tasty. Oh my God, this isn't a granola bar at all.
Yeah.
Which, this is one of my favorite things. This is
like Dan's life. He's always picking strange things up and putting them in his mouth.
These are my old. The only thing I kept from college, where we had to do like the human body, skeleton and muscles.
That's nice.
So I look at that all the time. And another piece by my friend Kagan, who does beautiful drawings.
What was on the whiteboard there? What do you got written over there?
Oh yeah, no, I can't. I probably should not have had that up there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a list of everything that I'm working on.
Rewinding right now.
Yeah.
75 of them.
Yeah.
The secrets of the Marvel Universe on that whiteboard.
Yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 12 books that I'm working on.
Just 12?
Yeah, which is maybe too
lazy
much.
Son of a bitch.
Maybe too much. Yeah, it was actually Warren Ellis who convinced me to get a whiteboard just to like visualize everything that I need to do. But I think he was just like tricking me to having an anxiety attack because he's an asshole.
Yeah,
100%.
Dave's little drawing here. Is Dave's gone again?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
Is that Skull Dave?
Yeah, that looks great.
Maybe it's the
like
white.
that.
It's the White Skull. We'll just call him that.
Ghost Rider.
It's a new Marvel book. I'm gonna.
That little flame, you could probably sell that as a cover to Marvel.
Yeah, if you threw like a matchstick on his head, like one just solo matchstick, just before he lights up.
Yeah.
By the way, I switched my camera to 720 DPI. So.
Oh my
Gorgeous. There you go.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Camera's good. How's the microphone now? Is it all right?
Yeah,
Sounds okay. It still sounds like you, but
well. How about now?
it smells better.
Well, I'm not going to put my face right up on it.
Jeff, are you looking at this at all?
A minute ago, yeah.
Jeff hates my stuff. Don't make him look at it.
5 minutes from now, Jeff will respond.
Yeah, now I understand it.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see it again? Here you go.
I got it. Thanks.
I think Dan is. I think you're a little power happy with this thing.
You know what? By episode 50, I'll have figured it out.
I don't like where the logo is, Dan.
Watch what happens. Boom, off.
Wow.
Oh, there it goes. Hi, everybody.
You know, you might want to consider a colored logo because again, when it's against white, you can't see it. If it's against, if it's a black logo against black.
Hey, where did everything go?
Maybe he could just fucking move the drawing.
Yeah, maybe Dave could move the drawing a little bit.
Yeah, come on.
It looks right now.
Block the logo.
You don't need to see it all the time. It's it's there. We got enough branding going on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't get to see my drawing anymore.
All right,
Dan,
gentlemen.
what did you draw tonight?
So Dan, for people that are tuning in right now, what's the name of this show?
I forget. Hold on.
Danny T Power Hour.
No, it's the happy hour, Dave. Remember Jeff and I?
I always wanted to ask you, why the original? Is there another drink and draw?
Yeah, they're drinking draws all over the world now.
Fuck those guys.
Meant to copy it.
Agreed.
Well, they copied us, so we wanted to make sure that everybody knew where it started. So we had to start using.
So it's like Ray's Pizza, right? The
Yeah,
original,
Exactly.
right?
Ray's original
Yeah.
fly.
The only problem is that eventually there were like 20 original Rays in the city.
20 Rays.
Yeah.
Originals.
Exactly.
Well, there's
Dan,
still only
the,
one original drinking draw.
Yeah.
The audience wants to know what you drew tonight.
Oh,
Show it again, yeah.
See if we can.
The Daredevil.
Let's see this.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
where's the yellow?
That's gorgeous.
No yellow.
Yellow.
Much yellow, damn it.
You could put a little bit of yellow at the bottom.
I put a little yellow
That
on
would be
your
a whole
bottom.
nother thing.
I'd like to put a little yellow on your bottom, Dave. What do you think about that?
Whoa.
Let's talk about us.
Next
What we're
week.
going to do later.
You guys,
The problem is you get drinking on these shows, and then little things come out about your true personality that you can't hide.
This bottle was full at the beginning.
Chip, did Dan ever tell you the story about him and Saran Wrap?
No, I'll never. Well, actually,
So yeah, I gotta go. Yeah. How do I get out of this?
honestly, I would feel comfortable telling Chip because I don't think he'd judge me. I can tell.
No,
No, tell him. Let's go. Let's hear
I
it.
can tell him right now, but the next time we're in Frank's room, I'll
Yeah.
tell him.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hiding sunglasses together.
Perfect.
So can we talk about next week's guest, Dan? We're actually ahead of the game.
It's a very religious show. Religious live streams are very popular, so we're going to do one. We have a Mr. Priest coming in.
Ooh,
Wow.
Priest and
Yeah.
Priest.
that's cool.
And, yeah, he's actually going to be visiting me, so we'll be doing something hopefully better than what Frank did, where I'm going to set up like in a nice place and.
Hopefully, you'll get the resolution figured out.
I did. I got to figure it out.
Now I can see him.
Oh, now it's okay.
Yeah.
I got to figure it out before you did.
You can see every hair on Joe's head now. It's
Everyone.
Beautiful.
And in my nose. I got to get nose hairs. I got terrible
I didn't
nose.
want to say it.
And Chip, this is for you.
Mm,
You've been such a great guest.
thanks.
Watch.
Wow.
Woo!
Well, I feel special.
Yeah,
Great. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
I feel so welcome.
Anytime with that, I'm going to do a screen capture and I'm going to send this your way.
All right. Beautiful.
You're awesome, Chip. Thanks. Congratulations.
The best.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me,
Thanks
guys.
for coming on, Chip.
Yeah, that
Good
was
time.
fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the last call. We're out of here.
Well, we got to thank everybody else out there who we had a
Well,
lot.
thanks for all the comments.
There was a lot of comments, a lot of talking, a lot of t-shirts.
Thanks, Ryan Stegman, for exhausting Chip before
Ugh.
we get the worst of them.
I know. Yeah. Truly the worst of me.
Good night to Brian Bendis.
Yeah, wherever you
Brian
are.
Bendis.
Maybe next week.
And remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
You could, but it'll be a blank screen soon. Starting right now.
Cool.
Still alive.
Nope.
So we're
Still alive.
still on.
No.